So you want to move away. You want to go somewhere else. Anywhere else. Anywhere but here, right? To go find different people, different experiences, immerse yourself in a different culture, and everything's new, new, new. Yeah, I did too. This video is gonna be the truth about moving abroad. More like my truth about moving abroad. But I've watched a few other people talk about their experiences moving abroad, and I've seen that a lot of these things are just kind of part of the package of being an expat. Okay, so first, a little bit of backstory. If you don't know me or who I am, my name is Stephanie. I was originally born in Los Angeles, grew up in Los Angeles, lived in Los Angeles until the ripe old age of 27, and then I moved all the way to the west coast of Ireland, Limerick specifically, and I had met this beautiful man. I had always had this dream growing up that I belonged somewhere in the British Isles, Ireland area, Europe specifically, but most specifically, I was actually in love with England while I was growing up, and that has to do with like history and stories that I read, fictional and non-fictional stories. So I guess I want to talk a little bit about what it's like when you move abroad, the things to expect, you don't expect, things that you kind of run into, and all that good stuff. So first off, homesickness is a very, very, very real thing. And this isn't like, so I've been gone for about 4 years now, and I've been home in that amount of time for maybe 7 or 8 weeks. And let me tell you, the homesickness, I knew I would miss home. I knew I would miss my family and friends. I just didn't factor in all of the newness along with homesickness. So it's like I was feeling homesick. I missed my mom, I missed my friends, I missed all the things that I was used to, my comfort things, the places that I could drive to easily, the friends I could go see easily, the just feeling at home, that feeling of being at home. When you leave home, it's gone. That comfort is not there. So it was like operating on, instead of like peak performance where I was feeling like comfortable and tranquil and just like at peace of where I was and what I was doing, it all just felt like this big anxiety ball. I was just anxious and everything was new and I missed home, and oh, it was so much. You're gonna miss your friends, you're gonna miss your family, you're gonna miss home, 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 home. It's really made me appreciate home. What helped me with the homesickness, I got into meditating. I really had to learn how to ground myself and how to take a breather when it gets to be a little bit too much. And on those days that are really hard, if I have the moment, because I do have a kid too, sometimes I can't take that time to just freak out, freak out and miss everyone. And that's a blessing, really. He keeps my mind off it. He gives my life purpose. But still, holidays are really hard. Birthdays can get really hard. There's definitely a double-edged sword when you move far away from home for a long time. So going on with the new. Everything is new. It's like, it honestly felt, and sometimes still feels like, I was a baby being born in a new place. Obviously, I was still an adult. I could walk, I could run, I can do all that stuff and talk. But I felt so stupid. I was so hard on myself for a while because, there are things that take a long time to get used to. So because nothing is comfortable, nothing is familiar. It's a constant change, it's a constant adaptation. And it was hard for me because I realized obviously I like to feel confident in the things that I do, and kind of like, I can do anything, it's all possible. But coming here and, I had a hard time with the doors because the locks are different. There's something called an immersion, which is for heating, and you got to turn it off because it takes up a lot of electricity, or it can get very expensive. Driving on the other side of the road, I had to drive a manual for a little bit first. There was no automatic car, and that's what I was used to at home. Going to the store, going to supermarkets, all the flavors, unless you find a specific shop for what you're looking for. So I grew up with obviously a ton of different things. Los Angeles, you can find all kinds of great food. So I was just used to lots of different flavors, lots of different varieties of flavors. And when you move somewhere else, like you have to figure out what brands you like, what flavors you like, and it's exciting because it's new. So if you really like new, if you really like change, constant change, like moving abroad is the thing for you. Wherever you move to, the things that they're used to, they're normal. They have an understanding for what that life is and how it moves and how the people interact in it. And the things that you say to each other, the things that you chat about, the things that are taboo. And, I'm coming from Los Angeles where honestly it is, I prided myself on being a provocative person where I would talk about the things that would make people uncomfortable. And at home, people would be about that usually. And those are my people. But here it's I had to realize I came here to experience. I didn't come here to change anything or to make anything more like me. And I know my partner probably disagrees that I didn't try to change anyone. So yeah, you change. Your identity changes, your beliefs, your values, everything gets put into question. Everything got put into question for me. And it was actually probably the thing that I've liked the most. It's really nice that I can kind of step back and see American culture, Irish culture, and then me in the middle and kind of I like this, I don't like that so much, I like some of this, and I don't like some of that, so much of that, and pick and choose little things that I want to keep and values. And I'm very excited that my son is going to be growing up in two completely different cultures and he's going to get to pick and choose himself as he's growing up too. That really excites me. I guess another thing that you realize, and I've talked to other expats too and they've had the same experience, it's when you move away, you are leaving everything behind and everyone behind. The only person that I'd say I've kept in consistent contact with is my mother. I speak to her every single day because I call her and she calls me. We make the effort with each other. But with everyone else has a life going on, still you're not there, so you don't know what's happening. You can't really talk to them about the things that are happening at home, and if you talk to them about things happening here, they can only understand so much, so there's a lot of losing touch with your friends and families, and while you're gone, you're having a life somewhere else and they're living their lives back home. And when you go back home, maybe you can catch up, but while you're gone, especially if you're going to move, just realize you're going to have to learn how to make friends somewhere different to get close. And that is no easy thing, especially as an adult. To make a friend as an adult, most people by the time that they're adults, they have their friends already, including where you're going to move to. They've got their friends already. So you really have to work hard to make a friend. You've got to put in the effort. You've got to look for them. And you're not going to mesh with everyone. And that's all it is. Also, if you enter an intercultural relationship, you can take nothing for granted. You cannot, and I would say expectations would be the downfall of a lot of people, but specifically if you're in an intercultural relationship, you've got to realize, unless you get with someone who's lived where you're from for a long time, or they have an understanding to what it's like to be with someone and the expectations that comes with a relationship from that place, because it's very different all over the world. People have different expectations for relationships, different roles for people, what they would want and it's everyone, but it's also different when it's different cultures. So it's if it's a different culture, you don't even have that base standard of what's expected. So for me and my partner, Garode, we really, for a while there, there was so much miscommunication. Just miscommunication because you use different words to say different things, or even the same thing, you use different words. So, you have to really be able to communicate. You have to get to a good place of communication where you can both understand each other and see that you're both coming from completely different places, but you're trying to get on the same page. I guess I could put this in an example. So when I got pregnant, my partner and I, we weren't in the best of place. We were still trying to figure things out. We were still having a lot of miscommunication. We didn't understand why that was happening. We hadn't really sat down and realized, look, we're from different places, completely different places. Of course, we're going to have to really talk things out. And so when I got pregnant, he proposed to me because I was pregnant. And me coming from Los Angeles, if you're going to propose to me, It better be because you freaking love me and you want to spend the rest of your life with me, not because we're having a baby. To me, that was like, what in Jesus' name? Sorry, I got real Irish there. And to him, it was like, we're having a baby, we're gonna get engaged, we're gonna get married, we're gonna live the rest of our lives together. So it's like we still both were thinking the same kind of thing. It was just, do not, with the expectations, cool it, talk everything out, all of it, like anything. Because there is no given, no guarantee. If you see 90 Day Fiance, which, by the way, we interviewed for, and I am so glad we did not make it onto that show. Holy crap. In the best kind of way, though. It's so very entertaining. But like, I watch the show and I understand sometimes they're just really having miscommunications. Like, it's one's expecting one thing and the other one's expecting something else, but neither of them has spoken about it yet. So neither of them is aware of what the other one needs, and it's just like, ah! Reality TV gold. So I hope that video didn't like burst anyone's bubble or rain on anyone's parade too much if you want to move abroad. I wouldn't change it. I would still do it. It is hard. I wouldn't recommend having a baby in the first year, getting pregnant in the first year that you move abroad, if you're close to your family. But I would recommend moving abroad because, geez, the perspectives change and you realize how small your world is. Even coming from a massive city like Los Angeles, my world was very small. I could never have imagined how differently people live. I mean, I love anthropology and I looked at other cultures and I could read about differences and read how it's different, but it's a completely different thing living it and experiencing it. All right, so if you're gonna move abroad or if you have moved abroad and you feel me on this, comment, let me know where you're going, let me know where you've gone, let me know how long you've been gone away from home. I've been gone for 4 years. 4 years and going. So, okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. I'll see you later. Bye.